Hello, my name is Matt Fry, and I'm the Media Coordinator and Director of Technology Staff Development for Liberty-Ilo ISD. Today I want to talk to you about the Liberty-Ilo ISD Technology Plan. I want to talk to you about the goals of that plan, and I want to talk to you about some of the things that we're doing right now in order to achieve those goals. Before we begin that, I want to give you a little bit of background information on why we have a technology plan. In 2010, the National Education Agency released the National Education Technology Plan, and it wants schools to focus on 5 key areas as it pertains to technology. The first is learning. How can we engage and empower our students with technology in the classroom? The second is productivity. How can we redesign and transform our current lessons using technology in order to engage and empower, like we talked about? Next is infrastructure. How can we make sure that we have access for students to technology and that we enable them to use technology? Second is teaching. Are our teachers prepared to be able to connect students to technology? And finally, assessment. How are we going to measure and make sure that our students are at the level where they need to be as it pertains to technology? And so this is the National Education Plan, and that led to the development of Liberty-Ilo's plan. And when we developed our plan, we looked at a variety of things. The first thing we look at are the demographics of our district. In Liberty-Ilo, we have 2,829 students on 6 campuses. That puts us as a 3A school in the state of Texas. We are 71% economically disadvantaged, and every year in technology, we have approximately $1.4 million to spend on technology. The next thing we did is we developed a team for this plan. The team includes the campus principal from every campus, as well as 2 teachers from each of those campuses. And then we sent out a needs assessment survey to everyone in the district so we could see what types of things they were looking for as it pertained to technology. The next thing we did is we determined our existing conditions. We did an inventory, both physical inventory and an inventory from teachers as far as what skills they had. From those, we began to determine the needs that we had for our technology plan, and then finally we developed goals, objectives, and strategies in order to achieve those objectives. The first goal that we came up is that we need to improve the technology literacy of all of our students, and we're going to do this in a variety of ways. One is through integrated lessons. We want to try as much as we can to get technology into the hands of our students during their regular lessons. We're also going to give benchmark assessments in the 2nd, 5th, and 8th grades to our students, and I'll talk a little bit more about that here in just a little while. Then we're going to develop a kindergarten through 8th grade scope and sequence in order to make sure that our students are on level when we give them those 3 assessments. We're going to have integration in staff development. This is a very big thing that we're going to work on, and I'll talk about that in just a little while too. And finally, we want to increase accessibility through adaptive technologies for special ed students. Our special education population is an area where technology can help immensely, and we want to do everything we can in order to reach them. So let's talk about some of the things that we're working on right now to take care of goal number 1. First, we're performing a comprehensive evaluation of our technology literacy classes at every campus to assess what areas need to be addressed to meet standards. We have technology classes on every campus, but we want to make sure that students are learning the correct things in those classes on level to make sure that they are at the level they need to be. And what goes hand in hand with that is that we're researching for an effective assessment instrument to give accurate feedback on student literacy. That means we want to be able to see where students are. Right now, we have classes where we teach technology, and so we're using the TEKS from those classes to show where we are, but that's not an accurate enough measure of where each student is. And so we're trying to come out with a better way to be able to assess students. That brings us to goal number 2, staff development to meet SBEC Tech standards. We want to focus on our teachers and make sure that they have in their hands the right tools to be able to use technology in the classroom. One thing that's going to be is in-service to focus on technology integration. We're going to have individualized workshop for each campus to ensure that everyone is getting training on their level. We want to give competency assessments to our staff, so not only to our students like we talked about before, but also our staff members. We want administrators to evaluate staff in terms of SBEC standards, which means our administrators need to know these standards, so when they come in to do a regular classroom evaluation, they can also use those terms from SBEC technology standards to ensure that teachers are on level. We want to give incentives to staff to meet SBEC standards. We are getting new technology constantly throughout the district, and so we want to look at teachers who are meeting those standards, and we want to put the technology into those teachers' hands and incentivize them for doing such a good job. And finally, we want to seek external technology training courses. So let's talk about some of the things that we're working on right now in order to meet goal 2. First of all, we sent a survey to all classroom teachers, and in this survey, we asked them what technology was already in their classroom, what technology they would like to have, whether or not they feel like they've had adequate training on the technology they have, and then what type of training they want to have. We received a response back from about 80% of our teachers, and most of them are saying they want some hands-on training. They want to be able to learn about things. They want to be able to actually work on things. And so we are developing a technology training calendar for 2012 and 2013. Part of that is going to include having days where teachers come to an on-campus training site and we give them technology training there. That will also include technology trainers going into the classroom with teachers so that they can teach the technology side while a teacher teaches the content side, and eventually we'll begin to meld those things together so the teacher can do all of that in that classroom by themselves. And that's a very exciting part about some of the new things we're doing here at Liberty ILO. The next goal is to improve communication with parents and community. Our plan says that we're going to use technology to maintain student records, and we do that already through Skyward. We're going to analyze performance data on the TAKS and the STAR test. We have technology in place where we can see exactly what TAKS students need to be reaching and need to be retaught as we assess them for TAKS and STAR. We utilize an online gradebook system here at Liberty ILO. We want to communicate and offer teaching to parents, the community, with technology. We want to open up our doors to parents and teachers, parents in the community after school so they can come in and work with technology. We want to encourage the use of electronic communication tools with parents. We want the LEISD website to provide information for community members, and we want a technology planning team to be formed and meet regularly. Part of these things are also some things that we're working on. One, we're going to completely recreate the Liberty ILO ISD internet presence. Social media is becoming such a big thing, websites are becoming such a big thing, and we are completely recreating everything that we have. One, we're going to have a new website built from the ground up for Liberty ILO ISD that is meant to be more user-friendly, more easy to navigate, and make it quicker for parents in the community to be able to find information. Then each teacher will also have their own individual teacher websites. And going back into staff development in the fall when all the teachers come back to school, one of the first things we're going to do is we're going to have website training hands-on where teachers will actually build their website with the help of technology staff members. We've also developed a Facebook page and a Twitter account in order to get information out to the public easier. We're also in the process of developing a mobile app that people will be able to download to any smartphone platform. It includes news updates, it ties to the Twitter feed and the Facebook account, it has calendars, it has menus, and it also gives us the option to send push notifications in case we have emergency communication that needs to go out to parents. We also are transitioning into ebooks for many of our district publications, and so many of the things that are printed now and mailed to everyone, we will continue to do that for a little while, but we're also going to develop an electronic ebook format of that can not only be placed on the internet, but can be downloaded to smartphones and iPads and other tablets as well. And so that's a very exciting part of some of the things we're doing in Goal 3 to improve communication with parents and communities. And the final goal of the Liberty ILO plan is to increase local area network and wide area network capability and stability. We want to increase our user-to-computer ratio, and we want to stay abreast of emerging technologies. The first thing, we want to optimize our network infrastructure and upgrade our internal wide area network on East Campus. We're doing that right now by ensuring that we have all of the up-to-date switches and putting everything on a rotation schedule so that everything works quickly. We want to install and maintain wireless access point on all campus. We want to strive to create a one-to-one device ratio for students and teachers. Right now, we do have a one-to-one computer ratio for teachers. We have a 3-to-1 student-to-computer ratio right now, and we're looking at ways that we can improve that. We're also going to try to discover new and emerging technologies. We do this by attending seminars throughout the year, especially TCEA down in Austin, where many of the new technologies come from. And we also want to explore the implementation of video over IP. We want to be able to communicate in one classroom across the board, and so that it makes it easier for teachers to be able to put videos up on their websites, so if a student misses class, they can always keep up with where they were. And so right now what we're doing is we're creating a comprehensive inventory of the needs assessment of all technology resources. We want to know what we have, the age of what we have, so we can have a better understanding of how quickly we're going to need to make changes and what type of replacement schedule we need to get on. We're also replacing all internal switches on a rotation to ensure proper function and workability. More technology requires more bandwidth inside the district, and so we have to constantly keep abreast of our basic infrastructure. Next thing, we want to analyze budgets and ways to come closer to a 1-to-1 student-device ratio. It used to be student-to-computer ratio. Now it's more of a student-device ratio, and we're also looking into options such as netbooks and iPads, which create a much more economical version of a device that a student can do almost everything with. They can do on a computer, and so that's something that we're looking at. And with budgets, that seems like a very good way for us to be able to maintain a 1-to-1 student-to-device ratio. As we work on this, how are we going to ensure that we are keeping up with the goals that we want to? Well, we've put in an evaluation process. One of the things we use is a star chart. This is sent out every year to all teachers for them to fill out about the technology use on their campus. This is something that also meets the standards required in the National Education Plan, and so that's why we use the star chart. We also send out staff surveys biannually. These can be anything from technology usage and hardware to also what type of training you want, and so at least twice a year we try to touch base with our teachers. We want to monitor community access to the website and technology resources. We want to see how much people are using this, and our new website will allow us to do that. We want to keep a yearly inventory of resources, and finally we want to support and maintain technology as documented by technical support records. We have a very good support staff in technology, and we've put in an electronic system now where everything is monitored and everything is kept up with and cataloged, so we'll know as we work on things, and we'll be able to keep accurate records of those. And that is a quick overview of the Liberty ISD Technology Plan. Thank you for your time.